Hello, everybody. This is MaximumDonut. Welcome to another episode of Dark Souls PvP. This is, I believe, my fourth video that I'm going to be uploading. Welcome to my channel if this is the first time watching. I really appreciate your views, and as always, if you comment, or if you'd like to comment on anything that I do say, or anything you see in these videos, please let me know. I'm a giant ear, waiting to listen to your stories of niceness. Oh, if anyone recognizes where that's from, please also leave it in the comments. But anyway, I spoke for quite a long time in my last video about Harry! Yeah, I spoke for a long time in my last video about sort of various actual PvP tactics stuff. So in this video, I'm going to try and focus a little bit more on it. But already, I've spent so much time not talking about not PvP stuff. In my first fight, it's just completely over. But anyway, Joot was using the stamina mask and the black iron set, and yeah, he was using katana as well. I think it was a very very honourable dueling. I do get to play him a few more times, so that doesn't entirely showcase his skill set there, I don't think. But anyway, I don't know if it was this guy's intention with Toby to use those homing crystal soul mass to actually attack me. But anyway, he did, and that's fine. That's fine by me. He's using a crystal magic weapon buffed katana. And there I just went for an attack, and I knew that sort of he was coming in for attacks when I lowered my guard after an attack, or when I attacked, I knew that he was coming in for attacks. So I attacked and then just went for a predictive parry. One thing that I am beginning to realize, and I invade with Toby again, hey, and I sort of jump away because I know in the last fight he had those crystal soul mass, so yeah, I just jumped away immediately. I just completely lost my train of thought there. Okay, well anyway, I guess I'll just move on. So this will be probably my last video using the Chaos Estoc for a while. I think I have a few more videos maybe, but this will be my last one using the Estoc for a while. I've started to try and use a variety of other different weapons. So I was actually inspired to use the Chaos Blade after I saw it used against me in a few fights. Okay, just want to quickly mention I made a critical mistake there. My Chaos Estoc does so little damage, so getting into a slugfest with a guy using a crystal magic weapon buffed katana is a big mistake. And there I actually successfully predicted some of his attack. I successfully timed my parry attack, and but unfortunately I didn't think I'd actually hit it, so I rolled away. And there he was just attacking straight into me, so I decided to parry spam, which is a bad idea. And after this one worked, I was like, oh, okay, maybe I'll try parry spamming in the future, and I think it's actually this video. It's just an epic fail. I think I included this one because it is such a massive fail. Don't parry spam if you're... well, I suppose sometimes it works, but particularly against buffed weapons like this, it's just a terrible idea. Yes, bad. I'm just a flaming bag of noob. I thought that was funny just because of how epically badly I failed. But anyway, good job, Joot. I mean, you've got balls to just keep on attacking into a guy who's just parry spamming. Although he should have gone for the backstab. But anyway, whatever, dude. This guy Tataka, I think. He invaded me a few times as well, so I'll say his name properly when I see the next invasion. He's using the full Lautrec armor, which is the armor of favor, which I actually think is really cool. I mean, it's not one of those themed builds. Well, okay, no. It's not one of those themed builds that's particularly bad. So I didn't actually finish my sentence there. It's not one of those themed builds that's really trash. He's using the one shuttle in each hand, and the full armor of favor, and I think the entire armor set does give you like 40 poise. So it's not like it's a very bad themed set. Like yeah, there aren't that many truly bad themed sets, or I mean, like, or I suppose it does come down to what you're actually wanting to get out of PvPing and stuff. And yeah, I thought this guy was actually quite good. He was using his using the shuttle's very limited range quite well, and the shuttle I think one of its attacks actually goes straight through the shield, so or does a lot of damage through the shield. So yeah, the target shield was a good choice in this particular fight. And then once his Darkwind Blade buff wore off, he was much less aggressive, which allowed me to try and use my distance advantageously. And there I got just a bit too aggressive. I knew that he was sort of one shot away from going down, so I did a while running attack, and he very wisely and conscientiously sort of stepped out of the way and used Wrath of the Gods. So, power to him. He really deserved that victory. I think that was a really good match, actually. Anyway, KB Living LRG. I invaded this guy a number of times, and in my previous videos you'll see me having invaded this guy many, many times. And the first few fights was just an epic fail on my part. Because I don't know if I'm just really bad at parrying, just in general. And I think I do invade him a few times yet, and I get sort of. I think I've gotten a bit better at fighting this guy. I recognize his attack patterns a little bit better. So he does the flip forward, and I noticed, as I'm sure most of you have noticed, that he throws his R1 attack after the roll quite often. So when I saw him rolling forward, I stepped towards him and I throw out my parry. Yeah, quite a lot of the parrying, the sort of predictive parrying, which is mainly what I tend to get off. Yeah, it's all about recognition of my opponent, and it's Tataka. Yeah. So for certain players like this guy, I think that his attack patterns are relatively unpredictable, and also yeah, if you completely epically fail a parry against the Darkwind Blade buffed weapon, you are just up shit creek without a paddle, or I suppose in less creative language, you're going to eat a buttload of damage. So yeah, I'm not as confident throwing out my parries against it. Oh god, I thought I was going to get stun locked. For a while I was using my weapon two-handed because I know the shuttle does damage through the shield, and I was trying to outrange him. Oh, he was doing his wild running attack, and I'm honestly surprised that didn't actually hit me and kill me. At this stage, I'm low and he's quite low, but yeah, his Darkwind Blade buff runs out, and I know he's pulling out his talisman to try and rebuff his weapon, so I'm just going in for attacks. But anyway, well, as most of the more experienced Dark Souls PvPers would know. Oh, okay, so just before I say that, he tried to rebuff his weapon midway through a fight, and if someone invades me, or I invade someone and they're buffing their weapon at the beginning of a match, that's perfectly fine. I'll actually let that go. But if they try and rebuff during the middle of the fight, usually if they leave themselves vulnerable, then I will not let that happen. I'll actually attack someone while they're trying to rebuff their weapon. And I think that's perfectly fine. Like, if I eat grass in the middle of a fight, which I do often because most of the fights with the Estoc go on for a really long time, feel free to attack me. I mean, I wouldn't show you any mercy, so you don't have to show me any mercy. There, I did do a backstab on him, partially because he did try to attack me as I was spawning into the world, but also because he left himself completely open to a backstab, so I thought that was fine. And Tataka again. I actually really enjoyed playing against this guy. I thought this guy was really, really good. I really like his build. I love seeing themed builds and, you know, interesting builds, and yeah, power to him. Okay. Yeah, so I think obviously pattern recognition is a very important part of PvP, and if your opponent is predictable, then that makes them easy. That makes their attacks easy to parry. And because I'm a bit of a noob, I think like I do recognize the patterns of certain players, but I just don't have the skill or the parrying skill to capitalize on them. One particular player who's I think yeah, there are a few attacks that I do that are quite predictable, and one player that I've played against enough times such that he recognizes my patterns of attack is Monkey Farmers, and I'll hopefully be posting a video of him later. I do have a few fights with him sort of in the bank that I do intend on uploading, but yeah, so pattern recognition. And then I suppose the skill to capitalize on recognizing someone's attack pattern. Important parts of yeah, very important part of Dark Souls PvP. Alright, this video is sort of coming to a close now. I didn't really talk about that much. And again, didn't really talk that much about the actual PvP in the video, but anyway. I suppose like this guy at the very end, he was he knew that he was low. He was throwing out quite a fair amount of parries and using his miracles. And unfortunately, I do clip him just while he's rolling, and he managed to get the win. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Oh God, see you.